All right, man, let's do a quick walk around of the 944S here. The outside's really clean, man. I mean, it's entirely rust-free on the body. It does have the type of sort of clear coat fading that you would expect for a car of its age, but nothing too crazy. The body is really, really straight all the way around. I mean, I think you might have a couple tiny little like hail dents on the hood. I mean, it's kind of difficult to even discern, but there's one or two on there. I believe there's a small one up here on the corner on the roof. A couple little guys right here, real little bitty. Hard to make out. You might be able to see them in the reflection right there. Right about there. Other than that, the body is just about perfect. No big dings or dents. No trim or anything missing. No rust anywhere. The wheels are in good shape. None of them are rashed or anything. They are faded though, the paint obviously. But they're in good enough shape. It even has the original little rock chip guards on the car, though obviously they're quite grimy. All the weather stripping's in really good shape as well. None of it's cracked or falling apart or anything. All the way around the car, it's in really great shape. It's awfully clean. Definitely has not seen a great deal of salt, that is for sure. Get on the other side here. And really, I think the only defects in the body of any real significance are the ones that I showed you there. You will see this quarter panel. For whatever reason, it does appear to be original. I don't think it's been replaced. But you can see somebody like very deliberately, that line right there, somebody like buffed off the clear above it. So this panel, the clear is pretty much gone on there. It's perfectly straight. It doesn't look terrible, but why someone did that, I don't quite know. It still has all the little stickers and badges and stuff on it. Little Porsche down there on the bottom of the trunk lid. Just a shot of the side of the body there. It's all real straight. No rust anywhere that I have seen. The interior is awfully complete, man. Very clean. I know that let me open up both sides, get a little bit more light in there. I know that the seats in here are the same ones, I believe, as the 964 of the same time period. And these things in good shape, especially in this good of shape, are really, really uncommon. And I've seen them listed for like, man, upwards of like $1,500 or more, some up to $2,000, depending on how nice they are. The door cards are all there, all complete. This car actually has power everything. I mean, power mirrors, power windows, power seats, at least on the driver's side. The dash is not bad at all. It's got a couple little cracks. I'll show you those in a second here. Get a better shot of those seats. They are both in a really, really good shape. No big rips or tears or anything. A little bit of wear on that bolster over there, but nothing major, man. Let's go around to the other side here. I believe that it is true mileage. I mean, when I looked up the Carfax on it, on the VIN, it showed that it had stopped being registered at about this mileage, 114, I believe. And many, many years ago, I think it was like in the late 90s, that it was last on the road. Why he abandoned the project, I don't know, man. It's a decent little car. You can see on the dash, there's a couple little cracks. One guy right there, a little bitty split there. I think that about does it, honestly, man. I think that's really about it. I don't know how many of these you've looked at, but on most of them, the dashes are just absolutely demolished. So this one is pretty nice. That's really the only trouble spot right there. Yeah, man. I mean, it's all here. It's all pretty nice. The interior is actually very sharp. I like this. Very simple, purposeful. Aftermarket radio. Old school. I don't know if you can see, it's a little bit dark down there, but an old school radar detector down there is still mounted. Looks like all the little controls and buttons and stuff are still intact. Though the linkage is a bit loose. It does shift into all the gears and everything. And the clutch is still operational. Brake feels firm. I did use them when I was rolling it into the trailer. It seems like the brakes work just fine. The suspension seems awfully tight as well. I have had it in the air once just to look at the underside. It's very, very clean and everything seems awfully tight. Power window controls there. These are aftermarket, obviously. These guys are added, the little tweeters on either side over there as well. And I believe that there's also a couple speakers in the trunk that he put into. Let's see if I can get you a view of the back seat here, but there's not a lot of light in the shop right now. Let me see if I can pop this open. Set you down for a second. The gas struts on the trunk need to be replaced because they're 40 years old. But yeah, man, I mean, the interior is awfully nice, honestly. There's nothing missing. It's all in really good shape. Controls for the power seat there. Everything's there in the back seat. I apologize for the lack of light back there, man. But there's not much to see anyhow. The leather's in really good shape, front and rear. The carpets as well. It smells a little tiny bit musty just because it was sitting in South Carolina. It's a little bit humid down there. No major mold or anything that I've seen, but it could be aired out a little bit. And then the only other thing the interior is missing is the sun visors are hanging down a little bit because their clips are broken, but those are all of $5 or $10. The big sunroof panel's complete. Looks like it's in good shape. Close these doors real quick. I mean, I know you're saying that you plan to do a swap, so I'm sure you could recoup some cost by selling some of these parts. The 2 toast cams are laying down here, and this box is a used but in very good condition cam that I'm sure is worth something. I've seen them on eBay listed for about $300, $400, somewhere in between. Most of the top end's complete. the whole intake and everything. All the lifters and the old chain guides and chain are in there. Ignition coils, valve cover. And I would imagine that certainly, considering that they made less of these 911Ss with the 4-valve heads than I think any other 944 model. I mean, there's less of these than there are of the turbos. There's less of these than there are of the S2s, of pretty much any of the sort of special edition ones. This head's probably worth something, man. I would assume you'd be able to sell this for a pretty penny. It's entirely reworked, rebuilt. Looks like the valves have been lapped and replaced, and looks like the retainers and everything are new. I mean, it's definitely been decked. If you lift it up on the other underside, it looks perfectly clean. It's certainly been completely gone through and machined and cleaned up and rebuilt. So I would imagine that certainly, I've not looked at prices, but I would think that that would be worth something at least. So you might be able to sell those off and make a little bit of your money back, since you're not using the engine anyhow. But yeah, it's all the parts sitting there in the back. Yeah, I mean, I do believe the guy's store that got it was out of commission as of like 25 or more years ago. I mean, everything on this car is in decent shape. Like this little rubber spoiler back here, normally they get ate up, and this thing is it looks new. So I don't think it's seen a lot of time sitting outside or anything. But yeah, man, it's a good little car. Let me pop the trunk as well. Let me give you a look in there real quick. Not that there's a whole lot to see, because like you said, you're not going to be using what's left of the engine in there anyhow. Some blocks sitting there left, open for 20-something years. Very, very weird, man. The only theory that I have as to why he would have had the head, paid to have the head completely rebuilt and gone through, order a new cam, and then not put it back together, is that one cam, the teeth for the gear-driven part of it are totally, totally fried. I mean, they're all just eaten away. And then the other one looks perfectly clean, but then there's one single tooth that's missing from the sprocket on it. So I am assuming that maybe he ordered the parts, or ordered one cam, had the head machined and intended to put it back together, and then upon receiving the head and going through everything and getting ready for reassembly, I suppose maybe he noticed that he did not need one cam, he in fact needed two. And it was relegated to the corner of the garage for the next however many years. The guy had all sorts of stuff, man. He had cars and boats and this big machine shop, like massive Bridgeport mills and stuff. It was a treasure trove of stuff, and this guy was just sitting in the back corner unloved, man. So I dug her out. It's been sitting since. It's a cool car, man, but I've got a E46 M3 project that I am pretty deep into right now, and as much as I like this thing, I just would rather put more money into that than take on a second project. Trying to do it one at a time. Keep my focus a little bit. But yeah, man, it's a cool car. I like it a lot. It's awfully clean. It's rust-free. Body's all straight. Interior, the trim, and everything that would matter to you as far as doing a swap is all still there. So yeah, man, if there's anything else I can tell you about, any other questions that you have, just give me a shout. Take it easy, dude. Bye.